In this video, we're exploring one of the most baffling, unresolved heists from around the globe. This case spanned continents and eras. From the skies over America, it involves staggering sums, clever disguises, and escapes that defy logic. We'll walk through the planning, the execution, the frantic investigations, and the wild theories that still swirl today. By the end, you might just have your own hunch about what really happened. But before we jump in, a quick note. This story is based on real events, pieced together from declassified files, eyewitness accounts, and expert analyses. Stick around till the end for some mind-bending reflections and, of course, a call to action to help this channel grow. Let's get started with a tale that turned an ordinary airplane flight into the stuff of legend. The D.B. Cooper hijacking. Imagine it's the 24th of November, 1971. The day before Thanksgiving, airports are buzzing with holiday travelers, but one man boarding Northwest Orient Flight 305 from Portland to Seattle has no turkey dinner on his mind. He's about to pull off what would become the only unsolved airplane hijacking in American history and walk away with $200,000 in ransom money, equivalent to about $1, $6 million today. 17. Our story begins at Portland International Airport. A middle-aged man, dressed sharply in a black business suit, white shirt, narrow black tie, and loafers, purchases a one-way ticket for $20 under the name Dan Cooper. Media misreporting would later dub him D.B. Cooper, and the name stuck. He's described as white, in his mid-40s, around 5'10" to 6 tall, 170,180 pounds, with dark hair and brown eyes. He carries a black attaché case and a brown paper bag. Nothing out of the ordinary at first glance. Flight 305 is a short hop on a Boeing 727 with just 36 passengers aboard. Cooper takes seat 18E in the rear, lights up a Raleigh cigarette, back when smoking was allowed on planes, and orders a bourbon and soda. As the plane taxis for takeoff, he casually passes a note to the young flight attendant, Florence Schaffner, who's sitting nearby. Thinking it's a phone number from a lonely businessman, she pockets it without reading. But Cooper leans in and whispers, "Miss, you better look at that note. I have a bomb in my briefcase." Schaffner opens the note. "I have a bomb in my briefcase. I will use it if necessary. I want you to sit next to me. You are being hijacked." Heart-pounding, she complies. Cooper cracks open his briefcase just enough to reveal what looks like a bomb, 8 red cylinders wired to a large battery. It's enough to convince her this is no joke. Once airborne, Cooper lays out his demands calmly. Almost politely, he wants $200,000 in unmarked $20 bills, negotiable American currency, as he phrases it, delivered in a knapsack. He also demands 4 parachutes, 2 primary backpacks, and 2 reserve chest packs. The plane must land in Seattle, refuel, and then head to Mexico City with specific flight parameters. Under 10,000 feet altitude, flaps at 15 degrees, landing gear down, and airspeed no faster than 100 knots. Oh, and the aft staircase, a unique feature of the Boeing 727, must remain lowered in flight. No funny business, no sky marshals, or everyone dies. The crew relays this to ground control, and the FBI springs into action. While the plane circles Puget Sound for hours to buy time, agents scramble. They source the ransom from the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco. 10,000 $20 bills, all photographed and serial numbers recorded for tracking. The parachutes come from a local skydiving school, 2 main rigs and 2 reserves, one of which is accidentally a non-functional dummy used for classroom demos. Around 5:45 p.m., the plane lands in Seattle. Cooper releases the passengers, who had no idea they were hijacked until they deplaned, but keeps the flight crew, pilots William Scott and Bill Radajak, flight engineer H.E. Anderson, and flight attendant Tina Mucklow. He inspects the ransom in the cabin, stuffing the cash into one of the parachute bags. Interestingly, he rejects a fuel truck initially because it's military marked, showing his paranoia. Once refueled, the plane takes off again around 7:40 p.m., now with just Cooper and the crew. As they fly south toward Reno for another refuel, Cooper directs Mucklow to join the crew in the cockpit. She last sees him standing in the aisle, tying the money bag around his waist with parachute cord. Around 8:13 p.m., the crew feels a sudden oscillation, the telltale sign of the aft staircase deploying under weight. Cooper has jumped into the stormy night sky over southwestern Washington, somewhere near the Washougal River watershed. The temperature is freezing, winds are howling at 200 miles per hour, and it's pitch black with no moon. He's wearing only his business suit, no helmet, no boots, no survival gear. The plane lands in Reno at 11:02 p.m., staircase still down. Cooper is gone, along with 2 parachutes and the ransom. Now, the manhunt begins. One of the largest in FBI history, codenamed Norjack. Over 1,000 suspects are interviewed. Composite sketches are drawn and refined. The final one showing a more olive-skinned, refined man. Evidence from the plane includes a black clip-on tie with a mother-of-pearl clasp, 2 parachutes left behind, one with cut shroud lines, perhaps for cord, 66 unidentified fingerprints, hair samples, and those Raleigh cigarette butts, sadly destroyed before DNA tech advanced. Aerial searches with helicopters, boats on nearby lakes, and even a top-secret SR-71 Blackbird spy plane yield nothing. Ground teams comb forests in Clark and Cowlitz counties. They recreate the jump by pushing a 200-pound sled out the staircase to pinpoint the drop zone, later adjusted eastward due to wind data errors. The FBI profiles Cooper as intelligent, possibly an Air Force veteran with parachuting experience, familiar with the Pacific Northwest terrain and Boeing aircraft quirks, like the 727's air stair being operable in flight, a detail not widely known outside military circles. For years, leads pour in. In 1980, an 8-year-old boy named Brian Ingram finds $5,800 in decaying $20 bills on Tina Bar, a beach along the Columbia River near Vancouver, Washington. Serial numbers match the ransom, but the bundles are incomplete and rubber bands are intact, suggesting they weren't exposed long. Later diatom analysis shows the money entered the water in spring or summer, possibly post-1974 dredging. But where's the rest? No body, no parachute, no more cash. Theories abound. Did Cooper survive? Some say yes. He might have been a Boeing employee, titanium particles on his tie link to aerospace work, or even French-Canadian, the alias Dan Cooper from a Belgian comic book hero, and odd phrasing like negotiable American currency. Copycat hijackers like Martin McNally and Frederick Hahnemann survived similar jumps in 1972, proving it's possible. Others believe he perished. No experienced skydiver would jump at night in a suit during a storm without proper gear. The 1980 Mount St. Helens eruption might have buried any remains. Suspects? Over 1,000, including Dwayne Weber. His widow claimed a deathbed confession, but DNA didn't match. L.D. Cooper, a woman's brother, matched the description, but no proof. And Walter Recca, a 2018 book, claimed he was Cooper, but FBI dismissed it. In 1976, a grand jury indicted John Doe aka Dan Cooper in absentia. By 2016, the FBI suspended the active investigation, citing resource drain, but the case remains open for any breakthrough. What happened to D.B. Cooper? Did he splash down in a river? His body lost forever? Or is he sipping pina coladas on a beach? The ultimate ghost. This heist isn't just about the money. It's about the man who vanished into legend, inspiring books, movies, and endless speculation. If you have a theory, drop it in the comments below. There you have it, folks. A globe-spanning heist that continued to baffle. D.B. Cooper's aerial vanishing act, ingenious planning, exploiting human trust and blind spots, and that elusive element of luck or fate. These cases remind us that in the world of high-stakes crime, not every story has a neat resolution. Sometimes, the money just disappears. Maybe it's buried in a forest, sunk in a river, or funding a quiet retirement. Or perhaps justice is still waiting in the wings. If this tale of unsolved intrigue fired up your imagination, hit that like button if you want more deep dives into history's mysteries. And don't forget to subscribe to Man in the Room. Turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. We're just getting started on uncovering the world's hidden stories. Share your favorite theory in the comments. Who was D.B. Cooper? Drop a comment and let's discuss. Thanks for watching, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.